Hello, I'm Atujamir and you're watching Hornbill TV. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray today said he was keeping the resignation letter ready, but urged the rebel MLAs to come and tell him on his face that they did not have the trust in him. He, however, added that after he quits as the CM, he would someone from the Sena to take over. Addressing the state through a Facebook live session, Thackeray said that Shiv Sena will never leave the Hindutva, and that is what Bala Saheb Thackeray had taught the party functionaries. Stating that he is not afraid of any challenge as long as the common Shiv Sainiks are with him, Thackeray said what upsets him was the fact that it was not the Congress or NCP that lost trust in him. There has been a strong buzz in the state that Thackeray, who tested positive for COVID-19 earlier in the day, might put in his papers as the turmoil following the fight of rebel Sena leader Eknath Shinde with more than 30 legislators to Assam, where the BJP is in power. The rebel camp had left Maharashtra a day ago for another BJP-ruled state, Gujarat, where it stayed for about a day in Surat. Meanwhile, in another development, Shiv Sena legislator a party resolution carrying signatures of 34 rebel MLAs stating that Shiv Sena leader Eknath Shinde remains as leader of Shiv Sena legislator party was sent to Governor of Maharashtra, Bhagat Singh Koshyari. To give more details on the state political scenario, I'll be joined by my colleague Naomi Kikon. Over to you, Naomi.
Thank you, Vatu. Hi, you're watching Hornbill TV. I'm Naomi Kikon. So, is this the beginning of the countdown for Uddhav government in Maharashtra? Why we are asking this question? Before telling that, a brief glance on the political circus going on in Maharashtra. Epicenter is Shiv Sena House, Madhusri. So what are the various political scenarios that the state of Maharashtra is concerned right now? As per sources, several Shiv Sena MLAs led by Eknath Shinde have revolted against the party, plunging the Mahavikas Aghati MVA government in Maharashtra into a crisis. Shinde is believed to be upset with the party leadership over an alliance with the Congress and NCP. The Sena is the largest constituent of the MVA with 55 MLA. The Nationalist Congress Party of Sharad Pawar has 53 MLAs, while the Congress has 44 MLAs. The BJP is the single largest party with 106 MLAs in the 288-member Legislative Assembly. Notably, the BJP and Shiv Sena contested elections together in 2019 and secured a comfortable majority. But the Shiv Sena separated from the BJP-led NDA after the result was declared, ending a 25-year-long political partnership. Sena 10 joined the ranks with the 10 arch-rivals NCB of Sharad Pawar and Congress to form an alliance government in the state. Meanwhile, Shinde has claimed that he enjoys the support of more than 40 MLAs. Shinde and other rebel MLAs are currently camping at a luxury hotel in Guwahati. They arrived here in the wee hours today on a charter flight from Gujarat to Surat.
सेना के 40 MLA अभी यहाँ मौजूद है और सभी लोग जो है हम बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का जो हिंदुत्व है इस और उनकी जो भूमिका है उसको हम लोग आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं और
Here are some latest developments in this story.
मुझे किसके ऊपर टीका टिप्पणी नहीं करनी है मुझे इतना ही बात है.
The ongoing political crisis in Maharashtra is heading towards the dissolution of Vidhan Sabha. Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut tweeted in Marathi after Eknath Shinde, in an exclusive interview to NDTV this morning, claimed the support of 40 Sena MLAs and 6 independents. Mr. Raut has earlier downplayed the threat of the impending coup in his party. Maharashtra BJP leader and former Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis is holding a meeting with his party leaders at his Mumbai residence to discuss constitutional provisions anti-arithmetic required to stake a claim, the former government sources said. He was in Delhi yesterday to meet the party's high command. Earlier, Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari was admitted to a Mumbai hospital this morning with coronavirus symptoms. The governor said that anyone who wanted to contact him could do so via video conferencing. Eknath Shinde needs the support of 37 MLAs, a two-thirds majority in his party, to split the party without facing disqualification under the anti-defection law. Mr. Shinde said he is not breaking away from Shiv Sena and he wants to carry forward Sena founder Balasaheb Thackeray's Hindutva ideology. We have not left Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena and will not leave it. We believe in Hindutva, he said. Hours after Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray spoke to the rebel leader for 10 minutes last evening, the MLAs made a post-midnight dash to the airport and flew to another BJP-ruled state, Assam.
So I have not counted any MLAs. Only 2-3 of my friends, they call me up. So I came to receive them. I don't know, I have never counted how many MLAs came or whatever things. Today night they said they are coming to Assam, so I came to receive them.
So what's their program now?
See, they haven't said about any program. They have not disclosed about any program. I also don't know about any.
After their arrival in Guwahati, the Sena rebels were welcomed by BJP leaders and taken to a 5-star hotel where Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma had been earlier seen. 50 rooms were prepped, said sources, hinting at more Shiv Sena's MLAs arriving today. To displace Mr. Thackeray and win a vote of confidence, should it come to that, the BJP needs 37 MLAs apart from its own 106. Mr. Shinde claims he has enough MLAs with him to enable the coup. As we have seen the chronological events of the Shiv Sena-led government, another interesting development is taking place. In the latest development, Thackeray, in a Facebook Live address, said that he is ready to resign and that he is keeping the resignation letter ready, but challenged the rebel MLAs to come and tell him on his face that they do not have the trust in him. He also said after he quits as the CM, he would want someone from the Shiv Sena to take over. Even though the CM announces his willingness to resign, the questions on whether he will resign or not remains uncertain.
Covering the headlines of all major news outlets today, a powerful earthquake of 6.1 magnitude rocked the southeastern part of Afghanistan, killing 1,000 people and leaving around 1,500 injured, according to the latest update. The quake struck about 44 kilometers from the southeastern city of Khost shortly after 1:30 local time, which would be around 2:30 a.m. in Indian time zone, when many people were at home asleep in their beds. A mild intensity earthquake was also felt in Islamabad and other parts of Pakistan like Lahore, Multan, Quetta and several other areas of the country. The tremors were also felt in parts of India. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the epicenter was about 44 kilometers from Khost city in Afghanistan and was at the depth of 51 kilometers, and most of the confirmed deaths were in the eastern Afghan province of Paktika, where about 255 people have been killed. Now talking more about the most affected area, Paktika, like several other areas of Afghanistan, has been severely devastated, which has been an outcome of devastating floods in the recent years. This province is mainly hilly and interspread with seasonal river valleys, being one of the most remote provinces in Afghanistan and also an area that saw much devastation in the previous years. Paktika suffers from a severe lack of critical infrastructure and reconstruction and development in the province after the fall of the Taliban has been slow compared to that in nearby provinces such as Khost and Zabul. This is primarily due to the remoteness of the region and repeated attacks on aid workers and NATO forces. As a result, we can see that most buildings in the province are usually made of mud bricks. We have been seeing pictures of landslide and ruined mud-built homes in eastern Paktika province in all of the major news outlets and also on social media. To rescue and aid the injured, the government of Pakistan has sent in helicopters to remote areas, and rescuers are seen ferrying victims to the hospital and scrambling to treat the injured. As per local reports, at least 90 houses have been destroyed and dozens of people are believed to be trapped under the rubble. However, it is assumed that rescue efforts are likely to be complicated since many international aid agencies left Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover of the country last year and the chaotic withdrawal of the US military from the longest war in its history. Now talking about previous major earthquakes in Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been experiencing series of earthquakes this year, and this would be the fourth series of earthquake this year itself. The country experienced its first earthquake this year on January 17, which was of 5.3 magnitude. The second earthquake hit the country on February 5 with a 5.8 magnitude on the Richter scale. The country was hit with the third earthquake this year on May 24th with a magnitude of 5.0. Now, the earthquake that they are experiencing right now would be the fourth earthquake this year. And also the most powerful earthquake in the region experienced in recent years was in the year 2015 in northern Afghanistan with a 7.5 magnitude on the Richter scale, which killed about 399 people and left 2,536 people injured. Two people sustained injuries after police threw mock bomb to disperse the protesters who were protesting over boundary pillars issue in Manipur. The United Committee Manipur on Wednesday intensified agitation over the issue. One lady reporter of local daily and one volunteer of UCM sustained injuries. The border pillar related issue is an emotive subject in Manipur. As such, the umbrella organization UCM is continuously raising issue.
Solo manam do. Ambulance ato ko
The lady reporter was covering the agitation when police threw the mock bomb to disperse the crowd and it hit her ankle. Both the injured persons were admitted to Jawaharlal Nehru Hospital in Imphal East and they were said to be out of danger. Later, police agreed to end the agitation in a peaceful manner on a condition that no further rallies will be organized. Agitators and UCM representatives warns the government that they will intensify the agitation if boundary pillar issue is not resolved soon. According to UCM President Joy Chandra Singh, border fencing in border town More is continuously done along Indian side. He further said that External Affairs Ministry and other concerned authorities are not paying heed to the concerns raised by local people that their own petty fields and in some instances half of villages have gone to Myanmar side. Over this issue, UCM representatives have already met Chief Minister and they are continuously appealing to central government to look into the matter.
democratic oibda aiko hesitation tawge beneba masida ida police na yamna tathi na tawuse police na ngasi ke leibak se thugai bada makoi mateng pangabra haiba aiko gi united committee manipur na hangba yaba aiko question ore makoi na aiko gi unit hangi hairiba border de unit hangi from the torture tawba moina hangi se aiko gi unit hangba yaroi natraga aiko gi border je makoi yon thokani haibo makoi gi chap chap wakalon ni maram aduna aiko ngasi hong gi makha da leba police sing na ahen ba thabak tawbu jai maji khudakta handokyo natraga di leibak thugai bada hong gi makha da leba police sing na madu chap chaba madu gi responsible lobu ngamga da bore gadi makoi na manipur gi leibak thugai bese makoi na thugai bani haina aiko miyam da haigani aduga aiko na ngasi gi manipur gi lengak amadi external affairs minister da aiko na hairi se kairang na haire ge ba.
A program in honor of the Film Association of Nagaland affiliation with the Federation of Film Societies of India was held today at Arsempa, Jotsoma, with special guest Premendra Mazumdar, Vice President, Federation of Film Societies of India, Asia Pacific and Secretary, International Federation of Film Societies. Speaking at the program, Mazumdar said that there are over 350 regular film societies in India and over 150 campus film societies in colleges and universities all over the country. Mazumdar suggested various steps and initiatives that the state government and FAN can take to promote the film industry in Nagaland.
How to propagate film culture, I told you, by organizing film appreciation course, by showcasing good films, discussing those films, why this is good, why that is not good, what is a good film, and promoting better cinema by organizing film festivals, interactive sessions with the directors, question and answer sessions, etc., which we are doing regularly throughout the country. These film festivals, the first film festival in India, it was happened in 1952, the IFI, for the interest of Jawaharlal Nehru. He was very much interested about propagation of good cinema. He took the initiative, and the first IFI was held in 1952, first in Mumbai and then in Delhi. After that, most of all the film festivals were done by FFSI, the Federation of Film Societies of India, in collaboration with different cultural offices of the embassies of different countries in Delhi and other parts of India. Gradually, in 1995 first, the state government took initiative. It was initiated by the government of West Bengal in 1995, first time. After 1952, government of India started after 43 years. West Bengal government first took the initiative.
Member of FAN Wapang Moa presented an overview about the Film Association of Nagaland. To enhance the technical and professional production skills, he said that FAN has been holding screening of films, seminars, workshops of all kinds and all other forms of interaction.
One of the aims is to enhance the technical and professional production skills of our locals, of our youngsters, and FAN has been holding screening of films, seminars, workshops of all kinds and other forms of interaction. So FAN also conducted an online film competition recently where our budding youngsters were given a platform and given a feature and given a platform. So workshop and training sessions will continue to be organized from time to time with the help of experts. Now, since the Federation of Film Societies in India is an umbrella of the filmmaking societies in India, and currently a member of the International Federation of Film Society of UNESCO. So FAN is, I think, privileged to be associated with FFSI.
The advisor for school education, Government of Nagaland, K.T. Sukalu, while speaking to Hornbill TV at the department's consultative meet in Chumukitima today, said that the poor performance of students at this year's HSLC exams was due to the COVID-19 pandemic and perhaps that children lost interest in school. Let's have a look.
Performance of government schools in the recent HSLC examinations was poor as compared to that of last year. So what would be the main reason for that, sir?
One of the reasons is the impact of COVID. And during this period, the students had lost connect. Though we had tried our best, many students, many families don't have the, smartphones. And it was difficult for them. And, human nature. When the regular classes are not conducted, people take it easy, even children take it easy, and perhaps they have lost that interest they had in the schooling. That could be one of the reasons. Number two, as I had mentioned earlier, the foundational literacy is very poor in our state, in the primary and the elementary section, and that also could be one of the reasons why there's poor performance in the HSLC exams.
Okay, sir. So, Delhi model of school, where thousands of students shifted from private school to government school. So, will Nagaland ever be able to implement this?
Why not? As I had mentioned earlier, we need to improve our infrastructure, and we need to have more committed teachers. And now that we are having recruitment teachers through interview system, no direct, appointments, I can assure you we can. Only thing is we have to improve our infrastructure.
Also, what does the school education department think about vocational training?
Well, that is needed today. All the students that go through the schools, be it private or government, cannot enter into the government service. So there's a big job market out. So skill development through vocational education definitely will help them.
Sir, will there be any action initiated against the poor performance of the teachers?
See, the poor performance of schools, I would say, has many, dimensions. It could be, we cannot blame the teachers alone. The department also could be blamed because the proper teachers were not posted, or the headmasters were not there, the assistant headmasters were not there. So there are multiple factors here. So we will assess that and see what is to be done. So our school buildings are in very poor conditions. Many of the schools were built in the late 60s and 70s, 80s. So now most of the schools are in dilapidated conditions. Unless we give them, improve the infrastructure, it will be difficult.
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.